Let's take a close look at what this man is doing with a horse. The TikTok creator, @AmbryPack, posted this video. Apparently it was a joke for views. Then suddenly she started supporting him and claimed that she had the honest facts.
Have you seen the update from AmbryPack about 2Raw2Ride? I have a lot of questions.
The actual truth was posted by 3 amazing TikTok creators, and then Miss AmbryPack went private. Here's what she said before she got exposed as a liar.
Update on 2Raw2Ride. I'm going to start off. If you leave a negative comment or if you're going to be snarky in my comments, I will immediately block you. To start off, I am not an idiot. I have been a content creator for almost 3 years now. I know how TikTok works, I know how trends work, and I know how to get views.
Which explains that video where she said something about releasing the horse out on the ranch, which was for views.
But I've also noticed that some of you act like first graders, and y'all also have the reading comprehension of them.
Is that snarky or negative?
When I posted the video, the caption says, "No, but if you need shelter, food, water, medicine, I've got you."
Excuses for her video. And the fact that her message contradicts her caption, where she explained in her caption that she's got him.
I went into the comment section. There's no reason to hate. He's gonna do whatever he wants to. Blah, blah, blah. The most we can do is help.
We can do a lot more than that.
Now let's be honest. What kind of inconsiderate human being would actually go and take another person's horse and put it out on the ranch? Maybe some of you psychopaths, but it's not gonna be me.
So there's another, is psychopaths negative and snarky? That's ad hominem. It gets nowhere. There is no point.
After I posted the video, I got to thinking. I was like, what if this guy is generally doing the right thing? And
she got to thinking and wondering if this guy is truly doing the right thing after she posted the video about releasing his horse out onto the ranch.
What if everything I am seeing and hearing on TikTok is false?
That's a really, really broad, over-exaggerated statement about everything that she sees and hears. Because everything that she sees and hears on TikTok is not false.
Because I, myself, have also seen false accusations of myself.
Now, how do we know they're false?
So I ended up messaging him and asking him, like, hey, I'm coming from an unbiased standpoint, and I just want to know, like, I'm curious, and can we meet up for dinner or something? I ended up having a really busy day, so we just ended up going and having a couple drinks.
Well, that's a great way to get somebody to be completely 100% truthfully honest, especially someone who is doing something that's ethically questionable.
My fiance went with me, so obviously there was nothing that went on between us. We're in a really loud place, so it's not like I could record our conversation so y'all could hear it clearly. So we sat down. I asked questions. He answered every single one of them 100% and 100% honestly.
She asked questions, and he answered all of them 100% with 100% honesty. Now, how the does she know that? She doesn't. She does not know if he was being 100% honest. These are complete strangers that are meeting up for drinks. This is not any kind of a business interaction or a job interview where you can check references and look up somebody's background. That's not helping at all. We don't know what was said. And frankly, I don't trust her.
One of them, I asked about his feeding. Feeding to me sounds great. I also asked him, like, when he's feeding or how he's feeding and, like, you know, like, when is he able to access food, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, every town that he gets into, there's going to be a feed store so he can get his horse some feed. Other than that, if they're on the road, the horse can graze.
Not acceptable.
Next, we talked about the vet. He did not take the horse to the vet because the horse was injured or blah, blah, whatever. He showed me the paper from the vet. It's like clearance, you know, saying the horse is cleared, no lameness, no, I can't remember all the other stuff it said, but basically stating that he's also going across state lines. If Cyril wants to share the paper, he will if he wants to, but sorry, but come back for part 2.
What do you mean if he wants to? Why has he not presented that? Why can't we see the paper? Show us the paper. Don't you think that would help the situation if it really was good news, if he really got clearance from the vet, if his intentions for going to the vet were anything other than being able to cross the state line, you know, actually making sure the horse is truly okay. In order to do a vet check, you have to pay for it. And if you don't pay for a full-blown vet check, you're not going to get it. Then she calls him Cyril. His name is Cyril. She literally pronounces it Cyril. So if you pay for the bare minimum just to get yourself across the state line, that's all you're going to get. In part 2, there's more interesting things because not only does she say his name, pronounce his name Cyril once, but multiple times. Now that's not an accident. Is it wordplay? She purposely mispronouncing his name so that she can claim that she wasn't actually really talking about him? It doesn't fit. She sat down and had drinks with this man, and she doesn't know how to pronounce his name.
Part 2 of the update with 2Raw2Ride. Like I said in my previous video, if you leave any type of negative comment or being snarky, I will block you or delete it. He said while they were at the vet, the horse had lost some weight.
That's not anything we didn't already know. We don't need to hear that. It's obvious.
With this, he said he's going to decrease the mileage that he's going, which is around like 25 miles. But this does not mean that the horse is underweight.
Now, in context, is the horse underweight? This is not a horse that is sitting in a pasture, not doing anything, so it's okay that he's lost a little bit of weight because it's easy to gain it back. This is a horse that's traveling multiple miles a day, 25. Now we know the body burns muscle first. It does not burn fat. So the weight that he's lost so far on this trip, which hasn't been that long, was muscle mass. And if he keeps going, he's not going to gain the muscle back. This is not a situation that can be remedied if he keeps going with this horse in this condition. So yes, the horse is underweight. And yes, that is muscle that the horse has lost. Not something that can be spared. Somehow that doesn't mean the horse is underweight. The horse is most definitely not at an acceptable weight.
I also think that a lot of you are not aware on how Tennessee walkers are built or how they walk, because they are nothing like a quarter horse, I can tell you.
Let me tell you something about myself. My first horse was a Tennessee walking horse. They're gaited. Duh. I mean, we saw it in the videos. He's obviously gaited.
We talked about the previous owner. Basically, this horse has been a trial horse for 3 years. So it's not like this horse was just pulled out of a pasture and just went.
We cannot verify any of that to be truthful. Being a trail horse for the past 3 years does not mean that the horse is conditioned for a long ride like this.
I asked him if SHIOK and him were getting along.
Then we get to the next incident of her mispronouncing a name. And this time is the horse's name. The horse's name before he was purchased was Falcon. The horse's name after he was purchased changed to SHIOK. She says SHIOK with an L. I mean, now it's getting really, really uncomfortable. Cyril and SHIOK, those are not the names of the man and the horse that are doing this trip. There is no mistake there. There's no accident there.
He said yes, they're getting along great, and he doesn't know if he's going to keep him.
I have an issue with that. He has no intention of keeping that horse.
We also talked about like the process of him buying a horse and like him trying different horses, you know, just buying what he likes and what would be best fit for his trip. I also asked him like, did you think about, you know, getting a pack horse? And he says yes, he has, and you know, whether he get a horse, you know, going on his way or whatever, that's up to him.
This is not going to work out the way that he wanted it to. And he wants to sell, if he can get the right number, he wants to sell Falcon. I'm going to call him Falcon because that's his name. I don't accept a name given to a horse from a person who exploits the animal. His name is Falcon. So he wants to sell Falcon for a high dollar price, but he's just going to buy another horse. Another horse that's, you know, conditioned to, hopefully conditioned for a ride like this. But it takes years to prepare a human and a horse for a ride like this. The top professional long riders have weighed in on this situation, and all of them, every single one of them, said they would not be doing what he's doing the way he's doing it.
He also has had previous riding experience. He did a equine sport. Now, as for the bigots and the comment section and whatnot,
negative and snarky, calling people names.
I'm pretty sure like 95% of y'all have probably never rode a horse. And if you did, it was probably on a trail ride.
Then we have another really illogical over-exaggeration. 95% of the bigots in the comment section have probably never ridden a horse.
And as for everybody else, I believe if you were truly a horseman and you genuinely cared, you would do your own research and not put other people down.
The other 5% of us that are actually equestrians own or ride horses on a regular basis and have probably for years, have decades of experience like myself. I've done my own research and I've formed my own opinions. I looked this guy up. I don't like what I found.
You will offer your advice and your help if needed.
If needed?
Even if you disagree, if someone is doing something differently than you, and you would send them on their way.
And then she minimizes it. Ma'am, you don't get to speak for us. You speak for yourself and you speak your opinion. Is this the right thing to be doing? Let's look at the big picture. What's the motivation? What's the goal? What are the ethics? What has transpired? and what is likely to happen if it continues the way that it is.
I also believe that 99% of y'all would not have the guts to do what he's doing.
Because 99% of us, probably more than that, would never even consider something like this. It's impractical. What's the purpose? Unless you're an actual professional long rider.
I don't even think I could be able to do that.
It's not about whether or not we have the guts to do it. It's about whether or not it's something we even want to do. How many of you want to do that? She says she doesn't have the guts to do it. That's fine. It's not very many people would want to do this.
And I would have not made a TikTok with Cyril following if I did not think that he was genuinely a good person and trying to do right by him and his horse.
She says it again, pronounces it Cyril. Not a mistake. Complete mispronunciation.
After we talked, I would have been like, fuck you, I'm leaving, go eat shit.
Not if you're like him. I think you got charmed by a narcissist.
Anyway, that is all I have. Please do not ask me or don't ask me anything else.
I'd like to point out something that anyone who is in the field of psychology or psychiatry and has any clinical experience knows that people that have behaviors like his, they're very good at manipulation. And outwardly they can seem extremely charming. And that's all a facade. And it's usually the people who seek attention. They want to be at the center of it, and at any expense to get what they want. His about section on his LinkedIn profile says, "I get shit done." That's real professional. What does that say to me? He does things. Anything he has set his mind on doing, he will do no matter what, at the expense of everyone, even himself. This guy came from Canada. He went down to Miami after he graduated college and worked there for a few months. Then he moved to Austin, worked in one position at a company, and then moved up for another position in the company. And then he quit his 6-figure job. I don't believe necessarily that he quit. And I don't believe that he had any intention of continuing that job. He wants to be famous. He wants to be a celebrity. He wants to be at the top.